This evening, first, a deadly day on the East Bank. 3 men killed in 2 shocking crashes just hours apart. What investigators are now revealing. Plus, will workers at the Demerara Harbour Bridge lose their jobs when the new bridge opens? The government response. And a terrifying home invasion in Berbice. 3 armed men storm a house, leaving a family traumatized. Also, major changes for phone users in Guyana. How number portability could shake up the telecom industry. Finally, tensions rise in Panama as U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio warns about China's influence over the canal. Stay tuned, these stories and more tonight on Headline News Update. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for February 3rd, 2025. I'm Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, a heartbreaking day on the east bank of the Demerara as 3 young men lost their lives in 2 separate accidents just hours apart. The tragic chain of events began early Sunday morning and ended late at night, leaving family and friends in shock. For more on this devastating story, we go to Malcolm Carter, who has been following the investigation.
A tragic series of crashes claimed the lives of 3 men along the East Bank Demerara on Sunday. The first accident occurred around 6:35 a.m. when 25-year-old Suresh Singh, known as Nello of Hillfoot, Soosdyke, lost control of his car, PAG 9078, while speeding south along the Timiri Public Road. His vehicle veered into the opposite lane and collided head-on with a truck, GAD 8492. CCTV footage captured the violent crash and nearby residents rushed to his aid. Singh was pulled from the wreckage and taken to the Diamond Diagnostic Center, where he was pronounced dead. The truck driver, who was not under the influence of alcohol, was detained to assist with the investigation. Shockingly, hours later, Singh's friend Joel Sutherland met a similar fate. After expressing condolences to Singh's sister at 11 a.m., Sutherland and another man, Ronald Gordon, died in a second crash around 11 p.m.
Hey, my condolence to your sister. I just see this whole thing and the face look at me all head out, you know. It's real sad, real sad. Sorry to know this. I know what's the feelings you losing about. Hold it up.
Their car slammed into a bridge at Land of Canaan, East Bank Demerara. Coincidentally, both Singh and Sutherland owned similar model cars. One crashed into a truck, the other into a bridge along the same roadway. Investigations into both fatal accidents are ongoing. Reporting for Headline News Update, Malcolm Carter.
Thanks, Malcolm. Minister of Public Works, Bishop One Edgehill, assured the 155 employees of the Demerara Harbour Bridge Corporation that they will not lose their jobs once the new Demerara River Bridge becomes operational. Responding to opposition Member of Parliament David Patterson and Aubrey Norton's questions during the 2025 budget consideration, Edgehill emphasized the government's commitment to its workers, noting that the corporation's skilled welders and other employees would continue to be employed, possibly through dismantling and reassembling the existing bridge.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge Corporation have some of the finest welders that this country has. Mr. Patterson knows that. These men go out when it's raining, Mr. Jones, and they weld, and they fix things. Their services will always be needed. We haven't gotten to the place of severance. They will continue to be employed somewhere. If we are moving the bridge to take it to some other location, you know, they got to carry it. They have to dismantle it. They have to fix it back. We, at the appropriate time, with policy direction formulated at the cabinet, will engage the workers and the workers' union about the future of the workers, ensuring that none of them is thrown to the curb.
The government has allocated $450 million in the 2025 budget for the ongoing maintenance of the Demerara Harbour Bridge, including the procurement of materials and dredging works. Minister Edgehill, while justifying the allocation, noted that the Demerara Harbour Bridge would not be obsolete and would continue to have a purpose in the future.
When this bridge becomes, the new bridge becomes operational, the Demerara Harbour Bridge will not be scrap iron. There are places that the bridge can be used. I say it's not money that is being thrown in the fire. It's to keep it going and to ensure that when we have to move it elsewhere, we got a proper bridge.
NGL also announced that tolls for major bridges, including the Berbice and Wismar-Mackenzie Bridge, will be removed in 2025. To facilitate this, subsidies for the Berbice Bridge will increase from $215.2 million to over $1 billion. The government reaffirmed that there will be no increase in tolls, addressing concerns over potential privatization. In other news, starting February 10, 2025, Guyana will introduce number portability, allowing mobile and landline users to switch service providers while keeping their current phone numbers. This change is aimed at boosting competition and giving consumers more choices. The initiative follows the liberalization of the telecommunications sector in 2020. The PUC and the telecommunications service providers have been engaged in numerous technical testing scenarios to ensure the seamless transition for subscribers and that all technical aspects of the service are functional as intended when it goes live on February 10th. The results of this is the successful implementation of number portability, a service that will benefit all users of telecommunication services in Guyana. The subscribers desirous of changing their service providers will be required to visit the retail store of the preferred service provider and request the porting of their numbers by completing the relevant porting forms. A valid form of identification is required. Mobile numbers transfers will take 1 business day, while landline transfers will take up to 5 days. You can visit the PUC's website or contact them directly for more information. Stick around when we return. Men remanded for armed robbery. And Simone Brooms launches ALP, focuses on youth engagement for 2025 elections.
It's Digicell's 18th anniversary and we're going big with our blowout sale. Get up to 40% off Samsung smartphones. Yes, you heard that right. 40% off Samsung smartphones. Grab the Samsung A05 for just $17,000, the A15 for only $27,000, and the A25 at a jaw-dropping $35,000. But wait, there's more. With every purchase, enjoy a 30-day free data plan to stay connected. Hurry to a Digicel store near you. Offer good while stocks last. Digicel, the network for everyone, everywhere.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoons, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoons Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Welcome back. Former People's National Congress Reform member and former government minister under the APNU-AFC coalition, Simone Brooms, has launched her own political party, the Assembly for Liberty and Prosperity, with a strong emphasis on mobilizing youth voters for the 2025 general elections. At the official launch on Saturday at the Impeccable Banquet Hall in Georgetown, Brooms outlined the party's mission to fight for dignity, justice, and rights, promoting equality and sustainable development. As a woman's rights advocate and anti-human trafficking campaigner, Brooms emphasized her commitment to combating poverty, crime, and violence, particularly against women. The event was attended by notable political figures, including AFC leader Nigel Hughes and the Justice for All party leader Jaipal Sharma, who welcomed the addition of ALP to the political landscape. Brooms revealed that ALP has already garnered over 1,000 local members and 300 female supporters from the diaspora. She dismissed concerns that her party would defy the opposition vote, asserting that ALP's goal is to engage young, disillusioned voters and address critical issues facing Ghana, including unemployment and crime. A chilling home invasion in Berbice has led to the arrest of 3 men now facing serious charges of robbery under arms. For more on this developing case, we go to Malcolm Carter, who has been following the investigation.
3 men from Quarantine Berbice have been charged with robbery under arms in connection with an incident at Rose Hall Tongue on January 22, 2025. The suspects, Joshua Bihari, known as Fun Out, Nathaniel Latchman, known as Nate, and Brian Sundat, known as Ajad, were arrested on January 29th during an intelligence-led police operation and later charged when they appeared at the Albion Magistrates Court on Friday, January 31st. One of the victims, 62-year-old Deodat Lutawan, recounted the terrifying ordeal in an interview. He said the armed men stormed his home at night, demanding cash and valuables. They held him and his family hostage, threatening to harm them if they resisted while in possession of guns and cutlasses.
3 men came in with a mask and a stick way up over there. And then they bring me in here and then kick me down, put it flat to lay it on the ground. And this is what take all what we have in the packet. And we hand and things and stuff, rings and things.
The suspects ransacked the house before fleeing with their jewelry and other belongings.
I got my phone, I got my wife's phone, then on with the laptop, and 1-2 other things when they can't pick up in the house. So when I leave now, 3 men, the car is parked over there, and they jump in and they drive back.
On Friday last, the accused appeared before Magistrates Michelle Matthias and were remanded to prison until February 28, 2025. Joshua Bihari faces additional armed robbery charges for allegedly stealing over $1.55 million in cash and valuables from 2 women in Quarantine Berbice. He was remanded and his cases were postponed to February 4th. Authorities believe the trio, along with 18-year-old Brian Sundat, a laborer of Port Morant, Quarantine Berbice, are part of a larger criminal network. Police investigations are ongoing. Reporting for Headline News Update, Malcolm Carter.
Thanks, Malcolm. Don't go away after the break. Nigeria to resume oil production. Environmentalists and residents demand plan be halted. And Trump says Venezuela will accept migrants returned from the U.S.
Digicel is celebrating 18 amazing years, and we're giving you the ultimate shopping spree. That's right, top up with $1,000 or more, and you could be one of 4 lucky winners, each walking away with up to $1 million in groceries. Imagine filling your carts with everything you need and more, absolutely free. Top up now and get ready to dash for carts full of groceries. Digicel, the network for everyone, everywhere.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoons, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets. outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton, and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common Smalls make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world.
Welcome to our regional and international news segment, which keeps you informed and up to date with the trending news stories worldwide. In the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago's first female police commissioner, Orla Herwood Christopher, has been dismissed following her arrest over an import license probe. The police service commissioner appointed Junior Benjamin as acting commissioner. Though released without charges, investigations continue. Authorities urge patience, warning against misinformation. Legal experts raise concerns over due process, fear public confidence in law enforcement may erode. Trinidad and Tobago Parliament will debate the appointments on February 5th. Meanwhile, in South America, U.S. President Donald Trump announced that Venezuela has agreed to take back migrants who entered the U.S. illegally, including gang members. The claim follows a meeting between Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro and Trump ally Richard Grenell, which led to the release of 6 U.S. detainees. Venezuela has not officially confirmed the deal, but state media acknowledged that migration was discussed. The U.S. has not recognized Maduro's leadership. Now we turn our attention to Central America. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is on his first trip abroad to Panama, where President Donald Trump has threatened to take control of the canal. Rubio warned Panama's President Jose Mulino that China's alleged control of the canal area must end immediately or the U.S. will take action. Al Jazeera's Latin American editor, Lucia Newman, reports.
Stern faces all around as Secretary of State Marco Rubio arrived at Panama's presidential palace with a message from U.S. President Donald Trump. Rubio told President José Raúl Mulino that the, quote, influence and control of China's Communist Party over the Panama Canal area is a threat to the canal and represents a violation of the Canal Neutrality and Operations Treaties. Rubio left without making a public statement, leaving Mulino to try to calm his country's fears about the U.S. taking back the canal by force if necessary, as President Trump has suggested.
There's no doubt that the canal is and will continue to be operated by our country. I don't think there's a discrepancy there. President Trump has his opinion about the presence of China, which will be clarified by the canal's technical teams.
But that wasn't sufficient for Secretary Rubio, whose spokesperson quickly issued a statement clarifying that in the absence of immediate changes, the United States will take necessary measures to protect its rights under the Panama Canal Treaty. This is one of the 2 ports on either end of the Panama Canal operated by a Chinese company, in this case on the Pacific side. Now, this has been one of the main bones of contention with the United States, which claims that through the ports, China can control the canal and perhaps keep the United States from using it. But Panama's president assures Secretary of State Rubio that that's not the case, but has emphasized repeatedly that this company is being audited by Panama, and should it come up wanting, it is conceivable that its contracts could be canceled, something that would be seen as a major concession to the Trump administration. Mulino also told his American guests that he won't renew the government's Belt and Road Initiative memorandum with Beijing. But he complained that Panama has been ignored by Washington, which hasn't appointed an ambassador here for years.
I invited the State Department to promote U.S. investment in this country. Otherwise, they shouldn't complain afterwards when other countries come here and do it. But for now, Washington's attention is clearly elsewhere, underscored by Secretary Rubio's decision to end the day by touring the Panama Canal. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera, Panama City, Panama.
Finally, protesters in Nigeria are angry about plans to resume oil production in the southern region of Ogoniland. It's an area described as one of the most polluted places on earth. Al Jazeera's Ali Hashem reports.
This is the water many people here rely on. Polluted, toxic, and undrinkable. For decades, oil spills have devastated this community in southern Nigeria's Ogoniland, and despite government promises, little has changed.
For me, living here, there is no sign of, look at the environment. No aquatic life, nothing. So every day, call me out, do this. Will something come out of this? I've told you, this situation speaks volume for itself.
This man says he has spoken out many times before, but he sees no change, and he's not alone.
In the 1950s, Ogoni's black gold seemed to promise its people prosperity. A transformation from making a living from fields and rivers to progressing to industry and wealth. But the government and oil companies had their own dreams, and instead they were left with their lands contaminated and that promise unfulfilled.
Despite $1 billion cleanup fund, leaked UN documents reveal that the agency responsible for the effort has completely failed to deliver results.
Yeah, like here was completely mangrove. But it's oil that just came up and blew up everything like fire. And today everybody is dying.
I am on a boat with Professor Nenbarini Zabe, the coordinator of the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project, HYPREP. But his leadership is under scrutiny. Recently, the Nigerian Senate warned that he could face arrest for failing 7 times to appear before a committee investigating mismanagement of the project.
I've been in office for 1 year, some months, and I can assure you that under me there is no such corruption. And we are doing fit for purpose cleanup. We are being prudent because we are doing effective scoping to ensure that there is value for money.
Despite the $1 billion budget, the cleanup doesn't appear to have made an impact. Nowhere near the large-scale effort needed to heal this land. Yet, as the government prepares to restart oil production, many fear a repeat of the past. For the families of the Ogoni 9, activists executed for opposing oil exploitation in 1995, this struggle feels like a battle lost.
We've not been able to do any other thing again. Those who are our leaders, we are expecting that they will continue with the agitation. Most of them, giving them any peanut, they would get the money and abandon the matter.
To many, agony is no longer just a feeling in Ogoni land. It's a fate. What should have been prosperity has become a legacy of suffering. Ali Hashem, Al Jazeera, Ogoniland, Nigeria.
That wraps up our regional and international news segment for tonight. Thank you for joining us as we bring you the latest updates from around the globe. I'm Malcolm Carter. Good night. See you next time. Back to you, baby.
Thanks, Malcolm. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's Safe TV2 Headline News for this Monday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.